fortune arises for the living entities, the jivas, they will do sadhu sangha. They will associate with sadhu when their good fortune arises. By some good reason, when this desire to associate with sadhu comes in the heart of the living entities, then through the association of sadhu, the jiva can attain Shuddha Bhakti. Good fortune, Sobhagya. Here our acharyas, they explain how this bhagya, this fortune, what is this fortune, good fortune, what is this? Fate, destiny, bhagya. How is it created? So one thing is Sobhagya, good fortune, and Durbhagya, bad fortune. So one thing is Bhagya, the fate, Durbhagya, bad fortune, bad fate. What is Durbhagya? Bad fortune, and what is Sobhagya, good fortune? How is this created? According to the karma, according to the karma you did in previous life, this bhagya, this fate, whatever we have in our life, actually is coming from the reactions of our previous deeds. In English, there's one saying, the man is the architect of his own fate or destiny. And it helped to fix this. Man is the architect of his own fate. Why? Because we do good things or bad things, jiva is independent, swatantra. We can do karma. You have the right, in Gita Bhagavan says, you have the right to perform karma, but I will give the fruits. But I will give the fruits of your karma. The jiva is conscious, cetana. So the jiva can discriminate. Vicharashila. You know what is vicharashila? It means you have discrimination power. Sorry. You can discriminate. This is good, this is bad. So knowing what is good and what is bad, you have to act accordingly. Everybody has bibik, discernment. Sometimes this bibik, this discernment is covered, sometimes shrunk, sometimes it's manifested or developed. So there are 5 kinds of consciousness in the jivas, 5 kinds of consciousness in the consciousness of the jivas. One is Achadit Chetan, covered consciousness. The living entity is a conscious being, but the consciousness of this jiva is completely covered. This is called Achadit Chetan, covered consciousness. Do you understand? Suppose the trees and the mountains also, they have pran, life. Some mountains, they have life, some mountains. The stones also. So the example is given. The example of Ahilya. For how many thousands of years she was as like a stone. When Bhagavan Ramachandra was going that area, by mercy of Lord Bhagavan Ramachandra, he stepped upon her and he delivered to her. Nalakavira Manigriva also, they were born as like a trees by the curse of Narada. They were born as the Jamalarjun. Then Bhagavan, what did he do? He delivered these 2 trees. They became Snegdakanta and Madhukanta in the transcendental world. There's too much wind. Please stop the fan. So there are 5 kinds of levels of consciousness. First is achadit chetan, cover consciousness. After that, second is sankuchit. Sankuchit chetan, shrunk consciousness, shrunk. It's like shrunk. Shrunken, huh? Shrinking consciousness. Like for example, the birds and the animals, they have sankuchita chetan, shrinken or shrunk consciousness. You do understand? I'll ask later. And third, mukulit chetan is the third kind. Mukulit means little bit sprout, like budding consciousness, they translate. So the human beings are in this category, this sprouting of consciousness. A normal human being comes into this category, mukulit chetan. Then fourth, bikasit chetan. Sorry, when the intelligence, the person is already having discernment power, it is called bikasit chetan, developed consciousness. What I must do in my life? I must do bhajana. What do I have to do? And Purna Vikasit, totally developed consciousness, when the sadhaka is doing bhajan, attains the stage of bhav. It's called Purna Vikasit Chetan, totally developed consciousness. Do you remember the names? There are 5 kinds of consciousness beings. 5 kinds of level of consciousness of the jivas we have just discussed. So the subject I was speaking about, what is the subject? How this fortune is created, bhagya. By fortune, by bhagya, by destiny. If the jiva is fortunate and the jiva will have faith in the association of sadhu. This shloka of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now we're discussing about bhagya word, this fortune. What is this fortune? How this fortune is created? According to your karma, your destiny is shaped. Or according to the samskaras of your previous lives. How this is like accumulated and then you engage in karma accordingly. Understand? No. So doing karma slowly, when the jiva becomes tired, then the jiva goes to the path of jnana. Through karma, the jiva is thinking, for karma I cannot attain my cherished goal. So the jiva goes through the path for the path of jnana. Then, on the path of jnana, the jiva also realizes after, oh, in this way I can't attain my cherished goal. Topmost goal I cannot attain by the path of jnana. Then the jiva comes to the path of bhakti. Sorry. So giving up the bad association. The person is doing this sadhana. The person is intelligent. Buddhiman means intelligent and also do discrimination, like who can properly discriminate. Buddhiman person, intelligent person, what will he do? He will give up the bad association. He will give up the bad association. And he will try to associate with sadhu. So, what is bad association and good association? What is association? We must know. So the karma is described in the Vedas. So to do whatever the Vedas tell us to do and give up whatever Vedas don't tell us to do. For example, illicit staying with women illegally illicitly, or with the women of others, stealing. The Vedas, they say that all these activities, they are prohibited. And stay in the path of truth. Means don't tell lies. Don't tell lies. So always speak the truth. What is dusanga? Bad association. One thing is satsanga, association of sat, another thing is dusanga, bad association. So good association and bad association. So you have to give up the bad association and do the satsanga, good association. All kinds of bad associations. The most dangerous is... What is the most dangerous bad association? Tell me. The worst.
Mayavadi.
Is the association of mayavadis, with mayavadis. Yes, you spoke well. Right. Koitav means duplicity, hypocrisy. The topmost duplicity and hypocrisy is Mayavad philosophy, and Krishna Bhakti disappears if there is Mayavad. So all the Koitab, like duplicitous things or fake things or hypocrite things, is a desire of liberation, especially desire to Sayuja Mukti. Oneness with Brahma, this completely hypocrisy. It is the most dangerous thing. So if you associate with some person like this, I mean, you should give up this association of someone with this desire for Sayuja Mukti. Some person maybe unknowingly did some sinful activities, unknowingly someone. But he can atone, for this bad karma. Shastra explains about if you do how to deliver from the pap, sinful activities. You can atone. What did I say? You can do the prashchitta, means atonement. If unknowingly. If unknowingly you commit some sin, what will you do? Shastra explains. How you can do the prashchitta, atonement. Suppose you are driving the car, suddenly a cow comes in front of your car. Sorry, then you just hit the cow. You hit the cow, and the cow died, because of you. So unknowingly you killed the cow. You did the sin of killing a cow, gohatta. But you did not kill the cow knowingly, like on purpose. You did it by accident. So what is this? So how are you free from this sin? Shastra describes the atonement. You do the prashchitta, means you do some activity to purify yourself because of the sin. Like giving donation of cow godan or Chandrayana Brat. You do this Chandrayana Brat. Has to do like eating less and less and then like this. And also you give donation to brahmanas and like this. Then you can be free from this sin of killing a cow. Isn't it? But if someone has the desire in his heart to merge in Brahma, it's the most dangerous thing. Why? Because the tendency of the soul, inherent, like spontaneous and inherent nature of the soul is to serve Krishna. And the duty of a servant is to serve. And that's why Prabhupada used to say, the sevaka, the servant, has no rest. Those who are actual servants, They have no time for rest. They never rest. Actually, they are never. They are incessantly, 24/7. They are serving Guru Vaishnavas, engaging in serving Guru Vaishnava. Understand? Are you understanding? Nanda Nandana Prabhu. What did I say? What have I said? The sevaka has no rest. Means the servant will never rest. Because actually he's always serving the God 24/7. He never rests. Sevaka Vishram Nai. Actually, the nature of the soul is to serve. Spontaneous nature of the soul is what? To serve to Krishna. And the duty of the servant is to serve. Then you also give up the path of Jnana and you come to the... We're discussing about Bhagavad sometimes. Sometimes we blame our own fate. Oh, it's in my fate this and like this. What is the bhagya? What is the fortune? Some people say it's invisible. So the fortune, bhagya, is like invisible. So how this fortune is shaped according to the previous lives, whatever we did in the previous lives. Understand? So I'll give one example now. There was a very generous rich man. Listen what I'm saying. There was a rich man. He was very rich. He was very generous. Listen very carefully. Any person would come to him, he would give him money, like land money. If you say, oh, rich man, oh, dear sir, I need some money to help in the marriage of my daughter, in the wedding of my daughter. Then he would say, how much you need for the wedding of your daughter? How much you need the money for marrying your daughter? He's saying 1 billion rupees. Okay, let's suppose 5,000 rupees. The rich man said, okay. But this rich man, he had one rule. Listen very carefully. This rich man, he had one rule, like something he was always doing. What? Okay, before I give you the money, you have to sign. Okay, I'm giving money now, but will you give me back the money in this life or in the next life or next life? If you give the money back in this life, okay, but you can also give in the next life. Those who are gentlemen really want to pay the money back to pay the debt. He'll write down and say, okay, I'll save up slowly, and I will give you the money back in this life, of course. I'll save monies like slowly, and I'll pay you back after some time in this life. Okay, so this man also said this, and he had like a clerk or someone helping that was writing this. Those who don't want to pay back, they were thinking, we'll see next life. I don't have anything. Like some people think, oh, when this body finishes, when the body is destroyed, it will become ashes. It will become ashes. The body will be transferred in ashes. Who will come in next life to try, like, to pay debts? Like, there's no God. There's no soul. The Brahmanas, they're talking about God only to fulfill their stomachs and their bellies. Sorry, some Brahmanas, they're speaking about Bhagavan just to fulfill their bellies. Where is God? In a stone or what? This useless talk. Stop nonsense things. Just take money borrowed, like borrow money, but don't pay back. Just enjoy. This body will become ashes. After this life is finished, who will come in next life asking for some money back, or like there's no anything about next life. Everything will become ashes. This is people say about these things, the reincarnation, and just to attract the people. So those who don't want to pay back, they will say, okay, I'll pay back in the next life. Who has seen the next life? So they just sign saying they'll give the money back in the next life. Those who are real gentlemen, like good people, religious people, those who know the Shastra, the scriptures, they know about karma. So he will say, I will give the money back in this life only. Give you the money back. Okay. The rich man told, okay, go to my clerk and write this down. Okay. So, but a thief came, and the thief was very evil. So he lied, and he said, oh, rich man, I also need someone to marry my daughter. Give me 1 million rupees. Then the rich man said, okay, I give you. Just you first I have to tell me you'll give the money back in this life or next life. I have one rule. What is my rule? I just told the rule. What is his rule? I have to say if you're gonna give the money back in this life or in the next life. Just sign in my book if you will give the money back in this life or next life. Those who don't want to give the money back, they'll say, okay, next life I give. So the rich man said, okay. So the rich man gave money to that thief, and then he opened his chest, like the place where he kept all the money, and the safe, like in one kind of almari, one kind of cupboard full of. Then the thief saw that he had like billions and billions of rupees inside that chest, inside that. And the thief was thinking, I only asked for 1 million rupees, but I could have taken so much more. So thief took that money, and he was thinking, where there's no bamboo, there will be no flute, so I better I just come during the night, and I'll open the lock of the chest, like the safe of this rich man, and I will steal everything he's got. I will steal everything. So the next day, during the night, this thief came in disguise, and he came in the front of the house of the rich man, and there was a cowherd. No, there was a cowshed. There was a cowshed in front of the rich man's house. So thief thought, I will just stay here until everybody falls asleep in the cowshed, and after that I will break into his house and break into his chest, and I will steal everything he's got in the chest. So that thief, he cowshed. How do you call the cowshed? Cabela. Notice cabela. A cowshed. So some mosquitoes were there. So he killed the mosquitoes, hit the mosquitoes. You see that? Okay, when like 1 a.m. when the rich man falls asleep, I'll break into his chest and I'll steal everything he's got. This thief knew the language of the animals. Some people they do. He knew the language of the animals. So what did he do? He was in the cowshed. So there's some cow there. So he sat near the cow. The cow was licking him. The cow was very calm and quiet. Very friendship mood. So the cow was licking his body. He was sitting there. Then another cow came. And the cow asked another cow, oh brother, tell me, How did you become? How were you born as a cow here? Why did you? What did you do to be born as a cow here? Because of the fruit of your karma, you were born as a cow, an animal. In the Gita, Bhagavan says, those who don't do bhajan, those who do sinful activities, they must go to hell. So in this way, that cow tell me, what did you do in the previous life that you were born as a cow here? Oh, in the previous life I came to this rich man and I took money from him, like I borrowed money from him, but I didn't give the money back. And as a result, now I'm born in the house of this same rich man in the form of a cow. And I give all my blood in the form of milk to him now. Actually, the milk which comes from the udder comes from the blood. So the mother eats and this become ras, I think like blood or liquid in the body, and then there comes the milk. So the cow told, actually I had taken money from this rich man in the previous life. And also he told, and I had signed in his book that I would pay in the next life. That's why in this life I am I'm born as a cow here. And to pay off my debt with that rich man, I am here giving all my blood in the form of milk to him. So the meaning of this small story, what is it? The meaning. So this story I just told. What is the moral of this story? The jivas in this world, they do good and bad things. And according to the results of these things they do, they have to suffer or enjoy it. They have to taste the fruits. But this fruit of the karma is not coming automatically. In this sloka explains, Krishna says, I give the fruit. You have the right to make the karma, But who gives the fruit of the karma? Bhagavan. Krishna says in this Bhagavad Gita. God is called Achyuta, means he can never fall down. To give up the bad association. So a smart person will also always associate with sadhu, satsanga. He will associate with sadhu, discuss harikatha. He will associate with sadhu. Slowly the sukriti will grow by the fruit of sadhu sangha. Then before you had inferior qualification, but then slowly you become high qualified. What did I say? You go from an inferior qualification level until the high qualification level. Means like slowly you grow in the path of spiritual life. Just like suppose, imagine a boy, he's in the 5th class in the primary school. In the primary school there are 4 classes, 4 grades, or 5. Then after he must admit himself in the high school. And after passing the high school, he must go to the college, university. So slowly he grows in his study life. Same way the sadhakas doing bhajana slowly in the path of spiritual life, and also improve his qualification, eligibility. So first is Shraddha, Sadhu Sango, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nibritti, Shakti. Slowly you reach all these stages. Understand? Then slowly you attain the abode of Lord. But the Javadharma explains something very interesting in this point. What does he say? If you want to associate with sadhu, yes, you must associate with sadhu, but you must analyze. This sadhu is a real sadhu? How is this sadhu? You must also seek carefully. Srila Raghunath Goswami told this verse. You must be have one-pointed devotion to the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. But if you don't get the association of this kind of sadhu, who is like absorbing the modes of being the servant of Srimati Radhika, you can never attain these modes. So the sadhu also must be in that same way. Must know all the tattvas, all the inner meaning of the scriptures, and then slowly this tendency of serve will arise in you. So in this way the sadhaka slowly he can increase in the path of bhakti, going to prema marga. Like first sadhana bhakti, then bhava bhakti, and then prema bhakti. So what was we're discussing about bhagya, right? How the bhagya is shaped according to the karma of your previous life. According to the karma you did. According to the results of your karma. Jam Maharaj will take you to high stages or other places. I was telling that story. So what did that man do? In the middle of the night, midnight, 1 a.m., he came to the house of the rich man, but he was thinking, what should I do? And he was listening to the conversation of the cow. Cow told, I took some money from the rich man and I didn't pay back. That's why now I became a cow in his house. The thief thought, oh, this will happen to me as well. So the thief, he ran away and then he went to the rich man and apologized, and the rich man apologized. So we're discussing about one verse in the Bhagavatam. Tato Sangha Usaja. Actually, because of association also, our bhagya is shaped, our fortune is shaped. Because if you associate with bad people, you go to bad paths, like you do bad things and like this. But if you associate with good people, then if you associate with sadhus, you get the pure fruit of prem. You gave up your family life, came here, means I want to attain Radha Dasya Prem, being the servant of Srimati Radhika. So Shastra explains. The path of karma and gyan are just like pots of poison. Pots of poison. So wondering many lies we are wondering. We feel some life. Oh yes, we find some saint and we come next to him. The saint will give us instructions. Which kind of instructions he will give? What is the instruction of the sadhu? To do karma or something? No, the sadhu, the guru will say, just like I'm doing my bhajan, you should also do bhajan in the same way. Means with the same bhava which I'm doing bhajan, you should also with the same bhava, same mood, also do your bhajan. So what is the process of bhajan? Bhajana pranali. He's showing. In other sampradayas, they have different bhajana pranalis, process of the bhajan. But in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we see how is the pranali, the process to attain. In the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, what is the bhajan pranali, process of attaining the goal of bhajan? Okay, first Shada must appear in the heart. Then sadhu sangha bhajana kriyanata nivriti nistara uchashat. So all these levels, karma means sequence, levels. You go different levels, going up. Gurudeva gave one example. One person, he lost one. No, he was digging. So the saint gave him some instructions to this man. What instruction the saint gave? The saint told, look, so there is some, our heart is have so many anarthas, knots of anarthas in our heart. So I think that's an example this one. So the saint chant holy names. We're wandering in this material world, and by good fortune we can get association of sadhu, and after that we can get the abode of Lord. This is the process. All the stories of the Bhagavatam, what is the main thing about all these stories in the Bhagavatam? They show the power of associating with sadhu. How we should sit down in sadhu sangha and listen to Harikatha. Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada told we should listen Harikatha in association of sadhus and chant holy names, Nam Bhajan. Then slowly in your heart, these all anarthas will be destroyed. I wanted him to repeat last example. So Gurudev, could you repeat that last example about that man who stormed Kodkia? This last example you gave, could you repeat? This last example, that the man, this last thing you told? Something about this, a man, Patar Kodkia, and then the sadhu came. Can you speak in English, please? There was one person who was digging the stone. Akhilesh Prabhu. Stone? There was a person who was digging the stone. Hard labor, it's very hard labor. Digging, like excavating. And what did he get after excavating the stone? He only found one small rat. What is the meaning? Karma is so difficult. It's such a path, so difficult path. Karma. It's like you're excavating a big mountain. But after this path of karma, we get only a little bit happiness. And how is this happiness? If you did good karma, then you go to Swarga Loka, for example. Understand? But the path of karma and jnana are insignificant in comparison to the path of bhakti. You don't get anything in the path of karma and jnana. So I'll give this example. One person was like digging the stone, and finally he only got a small rat. It means he did so many karma, and as the fruit of the karma, what did he get? Swarga Loka. He went to the heavenly planets. But what is Swarga Loka? After you went to Swarga Loka because you did some pious deeds, like if you give so much donation, for example. Then according to how much pious deeds you did, you stayed that specific time in Swarga Loka. But then you have to come back to this material world when this pious deeds credit is over. When the fruit of your karma is destroyed, then again you have to come back to this material world and wondering. So that's what I spoke this example. So you have to give up the path of karma and go to the path of jnana, like discussing jnana. I mean, generally a person gives up the path of karma and goes to the path of jnana. But also in the path of jnana you cannot get any benefit as well. What is jnana? To know something, this is jnana. But the fruit of jnana is to merge in Brahma. This is also insignificant. So if you compare the fruit of karma and jnana with the fruit of bhakti, the path of karma and jnana, they give insignificant results. But by the path of bhakti you can see Lord. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote in the Kirtan, it's in Gori Giti Gucha after Palyadas Kori. I'm doing my bhajana in a solitary hut in the banks of the Konda. Then I will hear the sound of Radha Krishna are there, and then one Saki comes to me and says, "Why are you sitting in this kunja, in this kutir? Why are you sitting in this hut? Let's come and have directly darshan of Srimati Radha and Krishna." There's a kirtan of Bhaktivinoda Thakur saying. It's in the Hindi Giti Gucha, this song, Nirjana Kutire. So the Saki is telling this. Another Saki is saying, the dhyana of the yogis cannot enter this. Even the yogis, by the meditation process, cannot enter this. Saki, you're here sitting in this solitary kutir, solitary hut. This kirtan is there. Such a beautiful kirtan, this one. It's in the Hindi book. It's a song that comes after Palhadas in the book. It's a very beautiful kirtan. We should chant this kirtan. So we should sing this kirtan. Okay, let's do Arati. Nirjana Kutire. Tirada Charan. Nirjana Kutire. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote this beautiful kirtan. Nirjana Kutire. Used to do bhajan alone. Only two things happen if they do bhajan alone. If you do bhajan alone. If you do bhajan alone, he lets me. You cannot do bhajan alone actually. But if you're very high class, you can be remembering the names of Lord and only remembering the pastimes. So there is Archana Marga and Smarana Marga. So the Guru Vaishnavas actually tell that the bhajan really, after you start you like leave the Archana Marga and go to Smarana Marga. There are two paths. So one thing is, what did I say? So Smarana Marga is higher than Vidhi Marga. So some people think, okay, I'll stay alone and just remembering the things. I'll stay alone in a solitary place. And I will think about Lord. Where is the book, the music? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying here though, give up the solitary bhajan and better is to have sakshat darshan, direct vision of Radha and Krishna. So to see directly the leelas You have to come out of your solitary kutire, solitary hut. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, I was doing bhajana in a solitary place, and in this moment I heard one Saki of Shrimati Radhika, Rupa Manjari, came and she gave me some advice. She said, what are you going to do here? My Saki, come out of this hut. Give up your solitary hut and come outside, otherwise you cannot see them. And you'll see, if you come out, you'll see. This meeting of Radha Govinda is so beautiful. And where is going on? In the banks of Radha Konda, this meeting is going on. Come have the darshan of this beautiful meeting. There's a shloka saying how the beautiful form of Radha and Krishna when they are together in the Rasa Lila. So beautiful pastimes in the banks of Radha Konda. And you're here inside this solitary hut with eyes shut, remembering. Hey, stop remembering and come outside and have direct darshan. See directly them. Say to them, oh Prabhu, Mahatma, Akhilesh Prabhu, please put the kirtan. So, yeah, giving up the smarana marg, even the remembrance, and just have that direct darshan. Directly see to Radha and Krishna. So, according to your own rasa, you have the darshan. Swarasiki Siddhi. So, Mantramaya Upasana and Swarasiki Upasana. According to your own rasa, you can have Siddha, your Ishtadev. Oh my Saki, what should you do? Give up this meditation. Come outside of the hut. What will you see? This meditation of the yogis, the Vishesh Gyan, like the Advaita Vadis, even to merging Brahma, etc. Also give up this, give up. Oh friend, what should you do? Don't give up the seva and sit in meditation, because the seva is more permanent. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, better to serve directly Radha Krishna. So Narottam Das Thakur said, so beautiful. So all this service, serving directly Radha and Krishna, humble. Also I'll give it to them. Serving directly, this is the highest thing. There's nothing higher than that. Gaur Brahmananda.